Chapter 16 is the second last chapter in the book, and I think it's pretty important because it's called Outstanding Preparation. Not only do I talk about it, but I actually give you a whole lot of activities to put on your monthly calendar. Things like 2 random care days, 2 random reward days, adding up your mastery hours. We then look at probably one of the most important concepts that I talk about the whole time, which is 1 excuse and 2 new plans. When things go wrong, we now have a way of dealing with them. The 1 excuse is to actually keep our self-confidence, keep our star big, and the 2 new plans are to fight regression to the mean so we don't make the same mistake again. So when people say no excuses, I say that's wrong. Great people actually keep themselves big by shielding themselves from telling them how bad they are themselves. So we make the 1 excuse. If you don't want to be a narcissist and you want to get better, we then make 2 new plans. So again, we learn about that. We learn about feedback being constructive. We learn about setting targets when we need to, but they're not the most important thing. What goes with them is the action. So in other words, when someone says, Jenny, I want you to get more of the ball. Well, the question is how? And the actions might be get more to the fall of the ball. It might be call for the ball when you need to. It might be, are you actually talking out on the field? It might be that I actually, I go if I can think of what I'm going to say there, Mark.
That's right, we'll cut this bit out.
Okay, so again, it might actually be going, asking an expert about what they would do if they actually got to the area and said, oh, yeah, well, when I was playing, I used to do this. Pairing up is one of the great things you can do. You can actually go, oh, yes, if I call for the ball and every time I get it, you come past me and vice versa, you'll double your touches. These are all the simple, easy little things. It's got a match training and preparation sheet in the book that you can actually copy. It's got a feedback area that I'd ask people to do at the end of the game so they think about things they did well and then things they would do differently. It talks about understanding fun. It talks about what you hear influences you, and we start talking a lot about music. Music is talked about lots in the flow zone area. It is now part of everything that you do in getting better, as is visualization. We're going to start looking at how you use visualization not only for your sport, but also how to deal with your heart rate at different times and how to use that as part of being great. So all of these are in there. Your post-game evaluation, your highlight tape is all on there. So this is a big chapter, and finally it's also got had a good game, had a bad game. And stop trying to think every time you have a good game it's all about you, and every time you had a bad game it's all about you too. Because quite often you have to realize in regression to the mean you're going to have both ends of the spectrum. As you get better, you'll find that the games start getting better more than they ever are the other direction, and you learn to write it off. So it talks about how to do all of that as part of the book, and mostly it talks about the thing of putting fun and friends into all of your preparation so that you keep going and you just think life is good. So again, this is not only for sport, this is going to work every day. It's actually dealing with your family and your relationships with your kids or your partner, and it's all pretty important.